What's up guys, Xbox Mod 360 here, and in today's video I have a product review that I've been looking forward to, and I think it's something that you guys would like too. So a lot of you have probably seen these growing in popularity recently, these little mini pool tables. I went out and picked up one myself, and this one specifically is made by Westminster Incorporated. And although I say I went out and picked it up, I actually did buy it online, so I'll provide a link to where I purchased it from. This is what the box looks like. Yours may look a little different because I know they do change up the design of the box every now and then. So I'm just going to jump right into this and start unboxing this for you guys. For anybody wondering, the actual size of the board itself is 16 inches by 9 inches by 3 inches tall. So when I say this is a mini pool table, I mean it's a really mini pool table. They do have mini pool tables that are a bit bigger than this, and I'll probably do a review of one of those in the near future too. This one's a little bit on the smaller side, but I did want to do a review on it. So initially what it comes with is, it looks like 2 pool cues, a triangle, and a bag of the pool balls. So one little initial remark I want to make is that it was put inside the box upside down, but you know, that's nothing major. You got your 2 pool cues right here, made of what I'd imagine to be wood. It feels like wood. Not plastic, so don't think they're plastic. You got your little baggie of balls right here, and I was kind of hoping that these would come in a box like all the other sets I've seen. I guess I'm kind of just holding it to a standard compared to the other sets, and every set's different, so I guess I really can't judge them on that. You got the little plastic triangle right here, and this is just a basic plastic triangle. You can't really go wrong with that. And then obviously you have the mini pool table itself. The felt feels pretty good. Feels like a normal pool table would. And the reason I picked the Westminster set is this right here. This dark wood grain looking finish. Compared to the other sets that you see out there, to me the other sets just kind of look like cheap and plasticky. I mean, I'm sure they're made out of the same material as this one. I just don't like how they're not dyed like a real pool table would. I like the rubber bumpers on the corner to these little black parts. I like that a lot. And I do have to point out that that little wood grain finish you see on this is artificial, and it looks like it was carved in. It's not actual wood grain finish, but it does add a really nice touch, and I do like it. Now the weight is something that leaves a little bit to be desired. I would like this pool table to be a little bit heavier. It does feel very light, especially when you pick up the box after first getting it. It kind of feels like, is the pool table in there? It's a little bit light. I would like it to be a bit heavier. But we're going to take a look at the pool cues next. And initially picking it up, there's a couple of things I want to say about it, but we'll start with the head. The head does not look that good. It doesn't look very professional, but what's really catching my eye is this black streak along the side here. It looks like my pool cue is stained. It looks like a rubber mark, like a tire would leave after running over something, and it's not coming off with my thumb, so I'm not liking that. Another thing I wanted to point out on this other one that I spotted is that these black lines that come up, these little black triangles kinda, they look really bad. They just, none of them are even. They look like they were drawn on with a Sharpie. I'm not liking that at all, and the head on this one too just does not look that good. So as for functionality, I haven't tested them out yet, so I can't really remark on that. The triangle, like I said before, it's pretty basic. It would be pretty tough to do that wrong. It's just a basic plastic triangle, so that's a-okay in my book. We're going to get to the balls now, and I already mentioned earlier how I would have liked to have a box, but you know, other sets do that, and that's not something this set does, and that's fine. You get your little stoppers too. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. You get these little 4 non-skid stoppers that you put on the bottom of it. That'll stop it from skidding, and it'll also help you from not scratching up your table as well. So I'll show you how to put those on there a little bit later in the video, but we're going to take a look at the balls now. And looking at these, there's some things I want to remark about too. The balls aren't looking that good. At least a couple of them anyway. I'm seeing some major flaws. You saw that 8 was way off center. This 14's pretty bad looking. Let's see. I don't like this either. You got, I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, you got a visible line where it was like in a mold. I'm gonna have to sand that down because that's gonna cause an issue for me. Yeah, you got that on a couple different balls. You got little lines where the mold, where the plastic was like in the mold, so you might need to sand these down a bit. And if you're sanding one of the balls that has color on it, you're gonna lose some of the color, so definitely not liking that. I'm going to put them in the triangle now. They seem to fit pretty well. They fit just like a normal pool set would, so that's good. Now this pool table doesn't have a little center mark for the when you're using the triangle kind of to go off of it. I wasn't expecting it to. I just wanted to mention that though. If anybody wanted a little center mark to know exactly where to put the triangle, that is something you will need to measure out and do yourself. So I am going to do a little demonstration right now for you guys of me hitting it with the stick and breaking the triangle. I am going to do that right now. Alright, so not a good break, but you cannot blame any of this part on the company. This is all me and my pool skills right here. It didn't feel awful hitting it. It definitely could have felt better, and one thing I'm noticing right now is this set didn't come with chalk, which is kind of weird. I guess I should have read up. I didn't really read up on what it comes with. Alright, that was a much better break. I didn't read up what this set comes with, but I am very surprised that it doesn't come with chalk. As you can see, ball return just sent that ball back. So, it didn't send the other one back. I'm tilting that right now, and I just got the other ball that went in the far corner. So, that might pose an issue. I mean, the surface that I'm playing on right now is completely level, so it's a little alarming that it didn't just send back the ball that went in the far corner away from the ball return. But I am going to do a little bit more testing for you guys so we can get some more accurate results, and you guys will need to bear with me here. Like I said, I am the furthest thing from a professional pool player. Very, very amateur at that. So this probably will take me a couple tries. Something I did forget to mention earlier is that these pool cues do have rubber backs like a normal pool cue would. And I'm not going to play out a whole game or anything like that. I am just going to practice a couple of staged shots. I'm hoping it doesn't take me too long to make one of these. There we go. Now let's see if it comes down the ball return, and I am getting nothing. Nothing came down the ball return. So this could actually pose a catastrophic issue for the set, and I'll explain to you why. Because if you scratch, you will need to get your ball back, and you can't tip the table because that moves all the rest of the balls. So if you scratch in the white ball, I forget the name of it, if the white ball gets stuck in there and you're not able to get it back, that essentially ends the game because you can't tip the table in order to get it to go down the chute. Now, like I said, I am almost positive that the surface I'm playing on is completely level, but I am going to flip this board around because if this surface was not level and that was causing the issue, then flipping the board around would reverse the issue and make it work properly. Now, I am going to zoom in to show you guys this issue a little closer. Not only are the balls not going down the ball chute, they're not going anywhere. They're staying right at the bottom of the hole, and other balls that come in are backing up on top of them, causing like a little traffic jam, and that's not good at all. So I guess I do have one little crappy resolution to provide you guys if you do run into this situation and you don't want to end the game and you do get the white ball down the hole. I am able to kind of stick my finger into the hole even though the hole is pretty tiny, and I am able to kind of physically send them down the ball return and get them to come out the bottom. So what I just did right there was test the two back and the two side pockets for ball return, and I got nothing back. There's nothing in the ball return, so that's a little alarming. I'm going to go test this out on a couple different surfaces that I know are level, and I'm going to come back to you guys with the result in just a moment. So I did have some better success on a perfectly level surface. I did manage to get the balls to return on all of the holes at least once, but the rates for the two back corners were probably about 2/3. 1/3 of the time it did get jammed up like you see right here, and I did leave it like that to show you guys what it looks like. The balls will get jammed up in the holes like that, so that was about 1/3 of the time on a level surface. It depended on how hard I hit it into the hole and how it kind of landed in there, and sometimes it would just get trapped, so that wasn't good. Now, another little thing I wanted to point out is that the ball return opening is a little bit tiny. I'm only able to put in like 2 fingers to grab 1 to 2 balls at a time. So that, I kind of wish it was a little bit bigger. I mean, obviously they have limited amount of space to work with, so I can't really complain about that. But the ball return is a little bit tiny, so just know that if you have big hands, you will probably struggle with that a little bit. Now, going back to the issue of the ball return itself, like I said, 1/3 of the time, at least one of the holes jammed up. So, and that was on a completely level surface too. And I guarantee that a good portion of you won't be playing on a completely level surface. It might be slightly slated one way or another. So I will probably tweak the holes myself and maybe add a little triangle to the corner to kind of get the ball to bounce in the right direction, because right now there's nothing in place in the corner. It just drops into the corner onto a flat surface, and I'm guessing the surface is slightly slanted, but it's not. There needs to be like a little thing in the corner for it to bounce off of to go in the right direction. Now, I just put my hand on the table to try to help you guys out with the scale, but I will take something out that's a little more recognizable, like a dollar bill. Something that will give you guys a better idea mentally of how big this is. So it's not gigantic or anything like that. When I say mini, I really do mean mini. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people, you really need to perceive that. Like, when you get this, I feel like a lot of people are going to say it's smaller than I imagined. And that probably is the case, but it is a mini pool table. So, like I said, I gave you those dimensions, 16 by 9 by 3. So, measure that out if you're wondering how big it is. So I'm going to show you guys how to install those little no slip grips right now. Those will make the table completely steady, so nobody can like push it or anything like that. And they also completely eliminate the possibility of the table scratching your table. Although that's very unlikely because those black rubbery plasticky bumpers that are on the corners that I said I liked, those are the parts that actually make contact with your table, your table that you're playing on, not the pool table. So I don't think those would scratch, but you know, just in case. And it's nice to have little no slip grips because you don't want somebody like accidentally pushing the table during their turn or anything like that. So these are pretty easy to use and self-explanatory, and these look like stickers when I show you them, but they're actually a little bit thicker than that. You can see from a side view. But there's 4 little pre-cut holes. You kind of just punch out the holes and you get the little circles. You just peel off one side of the circle that's papery. It's like a sticker kind of. It's not flat like a sticker, but the little papery part comes off and you have a sticky side to it. And you just put the sticky side on the corner, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to make sure it sticks on there good. So obviously not much to say about this. This is pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. It's simple. It's just like the triangle. It would be pretty tough for them to screw this part up, so there's nothing I can really complain about as far as this goes. And towards the end of the video, I'll do a little bit more talking in a review manner. Right now, this is more of the unboxing part of the video and installation, although this isn't much of installation, but I'll do a little bit more review talking towards the end of the video. But that's basically all you gotta do to get these on there. They seem like they're sticking on there pretty well. I mean, we'll be able to tell once we flip it over and try pushing it. If any of them give way, we'll immediately feel that, but they do seem to be sticking on and making a good connection. So, I know I said I'd wait till the end of the video, but this is probably going to be pretty much the end of the video. There's not too much more to say. I mean, I am going to test these out really quickly right now, and they do seem to work just fine. None of them are giving way. This is the rubber stops work perfect. So, onto the review aspect of this video. My overall opinion on this set is not very good. It's very low quality. I mean, the price you pay is not a lot of money, but what you get is very, very disappointing. Looking at the box, one thing I want to point out that I didn't point out earlier is that looking at the box, they show you that the balls are glossy like a normal pool set would be, but looking at the balls, they almost look like bouncy balls. The material they're made out of is a matte color. There's no shine or gloss to them. They don't feel like glass at all. It's just full of letdowns in my opinion, really. The next thing I wanted to talk about is those pool cues, obviously, and I'm going to insert some images here on how they're just low quality as far as the paint goes. I mean, they were better off just leaving it all one solid color, black or wood grain, because the paint just looks awful, really. And then you get to the tops as well, and I'm going to add a photo of these. They're basically brand new. I only used one of them for about 2 minutes. The tops do not look good at all either, coupled with the fact that you don't get chalk with this set, too, so you can't even chalk the top. It's pretty bad. There's also smaller things like the fact that the balls have those lines in them from when they were in the molds, and that's not even really a smaller thing because that can definitely affect gameplay and you can't even sand them down without taking off the paint. I also really couldn't help but notice that several of my holes looked very uneven and they didn't really look like they matched the rest of the holes. They looked like they just didn't look right, really. But all of these issues are really dwarfed in comparison to the ball return issue, and it's such a crucial issue because it can destroy the game really and render it useless. The ball return issue can make this game unplayable because if the balls aren't coming back and somebody scratches, then you can't play the game without tilting the board and the balls will back up and the holes will get blocked up. And to be honest, it's kind of foolish because it seems so easy to fix. All you really need to do is throw a little triangle inside the corner here, and that way when the ball goes in the hole, it'll bounce off the corner instead of just falling on that flat surface. If you kind of make a little angled, make it so that there's no corner really there, and make it kind of angled. If there's a triangle wedged in that corner, then it lands on an angled surface, and the angled surface will propel it towards the ball return, as opposed to it just landing on a flat surface and sometimes rolling down to the ball return and sometimes getting stuck. So I really hope that the Westminster company or whatever entity is in charge of designing and producing these mini pool tables takes some of this advice and this criticism and kind of uses it to work on their product and design something that's a bit better than what they have right now. I mean, obviously some people will argue that I got a fluke set and that other people's sets are better, but you can't really argue that fact. I mean, there's certain things like the ball material. It's not like I got balls that are made out of a different material. They're just not glossy and they're not made out of the material that's advertised on the box. So there's just really big issues And then there's issues of comparison too to other products, other mini pool tables that are the same price. If you do a little research, you will actually find out that there's mini pool tables like the one I showed you that I didn't really like because of the color. There's mini pool tables out there that are the same price that come with accessories like a brush and chalk. And that's actually kind of the norm. If you look up a lot of mini pool table reviews, you're going to notice that a lot of them come with a brush and chalk. And I was actually pretty surprised that this one did not come with chalk, that a mini pool table did not come with chalk. So yeah, this is definitely far from a bargain deal. A lot of issues they need to address. I'm actually going to give this one a 3.5 out of 10. And that's one of the lowest ratings I've given a product in my product reviews, and there's just a lot of reasons for that. And I don't need to restate them, you've heard them all. There's just too many reasons why. And if you guys did want to purchase this, I will put a link down below to where I got this exact one. But anyways, that's going to wrap up this product review. I hope you guys liked this product review. I hope it was informative and it helped you guys out. You guys may have a better experience than I did, who knows, but I hope you guys did find this informative and it did help you make an informed decision if you were planning on purchasing this. So anyways guys, that's going to wrap up my review on the Westminster mini pool table. If you guys found this video helpful in any way, hit that like button below, and if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button for more amazing reviews just like this. And as always guys, thank you for watching from Xbox Mod 360.